Two founders just got into Y Combinator with zero engineering team and no technical background. And they built a massive AI software platform for government agencies utilizing Claude Code. And everyone in Silicon Valley is losing their minds over this. They're saying that Claude Code is like literally creating this new generation of millionaire founders because you no longer need to know how to code to build a software company. And they're right, but I think they're looking in the wrong direction, completely wrong direction. And I am a Y Combinator founder, and also my company Albi was a Y Combinator company as well. I've been in those rooms and I know that game. And I'm telling you right now, the biggest wealth transfer happening with Claude is not happening on Silicon Valley. It is literally happening on Main Street. And that is what excites me. And this video is for three specific people. Number one is the person that's looking for their next big thing. Number two is the person who already owns a service business. And number three, that's for the tech bro, the coder. The new generation of millionaire founders are not building SaaS apps. They're buying or building $5 million plumbing, HVAC, and restoration companies, and they're using Claude to turn them into $20 million tech-enabled empires. And today, I'm gonna show you exactly how they're doing it. To understand why this is happening right now, you have to understand the history of technology. For the last 40 years, value was created by the person who could speak computer, the nerd, the coder. And if you were a business owner with a great idea to streamline your operations like I was when I was building a restoration company, you just couldn't do it. You needed the Rosetta Stone. You needed to hire an expensive developer to translate what you were thinking into databases, servers, and on-prem IT bullshit. And the coder was the gatekeeper of that innovation. That era is over. We have crossed an incredible threshold now in the 2020s. You no longer need to speak computer because computers now speak human. You as the human can speak human to the computer. Literally can go into whisper flow right now. And I could double click and say, hey, I want to get this thing done. And you can tell Claude in plain English what you want to build, and it builds it. The gatekeeper's gone, and the operator is now the developer. But to actually capture this value, you have to understand the enemy. And the enemy is this hustle harder culture that riddles the entire world. For the last 50 years, if you wanted to grow a brick and mortar service business, you had one option: grind your people into the dirt. Work hard, play hard. Sounds all familiar. And if you wanted more revenue, you literally had to push your estimators to work on weekends. Your staff had to manually enter more data into 3 different spreadsheets, and your dispatchers had to play phone tag with more and more angry customers. And I call this broccoli. It is tedious, soul-crushing, administrative bullshit that everybody hates doing. And the old school pen and paper way of running a trades business assumes that the broccoli is just part of the job. The tech stigma in this industry is massive too. Owners think that software and AI is too expensive, too complicated, or that their guys are just blue-collar guys and they just won't use it. So they cap out at $3 to $5 million of revenue, and their employees burn out and quit, and the owner becomes a prisoner to their own business. This is where Claude and or AI changes absolutely everything. Most people think that AI is a chatbot that writes emails, that it's the toy, but the reality is Claude and or AI is a weapon. And you don't need to hire a $50,000 a month software agency to build customer integrations for your HVAC company anymore. You, the operator, or you, the entrepreneur working inside the company, can literally tell Claude in plain English, take every incoming lead from our website, cross-reference it with our scheduling software, text the customer 3 available times, and book the appointment. Claude writes the code, Claude connects to the APIs, Claude tests it, and then suddenly, a job that used to take 2 full-time employees 40 hours a week happens instantly in the background with 0 marginal costs. When you use Claude to eliminate the broccoli, you empower every single employee in the company to focus on 2 things that actually matter. Bucket number 1 is delivering massive value to the customer, because when your team isn't drowning in paperwork, they actually talk to the homeowner whose basement just flooded, or they actually talk and spend a lot of quality time with the other homeowner who had a water heater fail. And they can provide empathy. They can solve complex real-world problems that robots and or technology can't touch. And then there's bucket number 2, which is buying back time. By implementing AI into your business, we're eliminating the hustle harder culture. We're getting human beings to earn an awesome wage by creating massive value in the world, but also allowing them to go home at 5 o'clock and be there with their families. The hustle harder culture of the trades is literally going away. With tech enablement, you're able to get your company to 500,000, maybe even $1 million, maybe even $2 million of revenue per employee. Then you could afford to pay those entry-level employees 100,000, 200,000, maybe even $500,000 a year. And they could do less hours of work and have the same amount of output, and it's a win-win-win. You as a business owner are making more money, the employees are also. This isn't a nice cultural shift. This is literally a massive financial lever. Fast forward 5 years from now, the companies who do this will be able to attract the best talent in the world, and the companies that don't will eventually disappear. And when you build a business this way, you completely change the math of the industry. Let's say you have a restoration company doing $5 million worth of revenue. The old school guy is taking home maybe 10% margins. In fact, I read this study that the average cream of the crop restoration company of this network called DKI in restoration was doing like 5% EBITDA margins. And private equity will buy the company for 3 to 5 times earnings, right? And it's a messy, chaotic job. But the new generation founder, the one who used Claude to build autonomous agents that are actually working within their companies, their margins are 20 to 40% because the overhead is slashed. Their employees never quit because they don't have to do the broccoli. They love their jobs. Their customer reviews are flawless because the team actually has time to care. And when a potential buyer looks at that business, they don't see a messy plumbing company. They see a scalable, tech-enabled asset, and they're willing to pay 10 to 20 times earnings for that. And that is valuation arbitrage. And you could actually look at AI-rollup.fyi, and you'll see a list of companies that are actually doing this right now. Real world companies in real world trades. And in fact, if you look closely, one of my companies, Longview, is actually on that list. Landing the plane here, you don't need to move to Silicon Valley to build a tech company. And you don't need to have a tech company to be able to create value in today's world. You could literally build a tech-enabled restoration company or a tech-enabled plumbing company right now in your hometown in the most boring industries on earth. And whether you're an entrepreneur looking to buy, transform a business, or maybe you already have a business that you want to transform, or you're an intrapreneur, a person who's super talented, who doesn't want to take the risk of entrepreneurship, but wants to work within some sort of organization like that, and you're looking to build these systems from the inside, or maybe you're a tech bro and you're really good at coding and you want to actually utilize your skills on more than just being a scut worker, this is the greatest opportunity of your lifetime. We're actively building an AI-powered roll-up of these exact type of businesses. And we're actually always looking for operators, entrepreneurs, and owners who want to join the empire. So if you want to actually stop eating the broccoli and start building real enterprise value, comment empire below. And we'll send you the details on what we're building and see if we're a fit, or we'll help unblock you along your journey.